I kept hearing tapping under my floor at 2 a.m. At first, I thought it was pipes, until I realized it was spelling out words. I wasn't imagining it. I moved into the apartment on a rainy Tuesday. The place was small, a collection of modest rooms, windows leaning out over a quiet, tree-lined street. The floors were old wood, the kind that holds the memory of every footstep. These planks were dark and worn, small, almost imperceptible gaps, thin cracks like veins. The floorboards made soft, groaning creaks when I walked across them. I liked the sound at first. It gave the empty space a sense of history, that it held stories. It was a comforting noise in the initial loneliness of a new beginning. My name is Lena. My life was, and remains, a study in simplicity. I worked a quiet job in a small office near the river, organized papers, the low hum of computers. Consequently, I kept my personal effects to a minimum: a bed, a simple lamp for reading, a small table for meals and work. The apartment, in its stark emptiness, felt quiet at night. It was not a peaceful quiet, however. It was the kind of deep, consuming silence that makes your ears strain, actively listening for the smallest noises. The first night I heard the tapping, I was not afraid. The sound was faint, a soft and rhythmic tap from directly under my bed. It began precisely at 2 a.m, a time when the world outside had fallen completely still. My logical assessment: the building's old plumbing. Houses of this age have their own peculiar languages, groans and sighs as they settle into the earth, pipes contracting in the cold night air. I convinced myself it was mundane and would soon stop. But the tapping kept coming. Sporadic in occurrence, yet always in that deep, dark part of the night, when the lights were off and I was between wakefulness and sleep. At first, the intermittent tapping was easy enough to ignore or rationalize away. During daylight, the apartment was mine. The floor was just a floor, the wood just wood. The sound was so subtle, like a small dry stick crossing wood, or a single patient finger on a tabletop. It lacked the metallic clang of pipes or the random shudder of a building settling. Yet, as the weeks passed, a change began. The taps started to find a rhythm. The pattern gained a cadence. Less like settling, more like a message. One night I couldn't dismiss it. I reached for my phone, its screen a dull grey lamp in the darkness. I started a recording, holding the phone perfectly still, the mic aimed at the floor. SFX, clearer taps through speakers. In the bright, unforgiving kitchen, I played it back. With volume up, it was much clearer. Distinct beats, short, sharp taps, and longer, resonant ones, with precise pauses between clusters. A distant memory, my brother's shortwave radio kit, Morse code, dots and dashes. I pulled up a chart and began matching taps to dots and dashes. Methodically, with tea steaming and every light blazing, I worked through the loop, slowly, letter by letter, HELP. I froze. Someone was tapping a word from underneath my room. I remember staring at the floor like it was suddenly alive. The space beneath felt sentient, a mouth trying to speak. I called my brother, my voice trembling, and played him the clip. That night, I didn't get into bed. I sat on the floor, notepad and pen in hand, waiting. I didn't have to wait long. The messages were fragmented, broken, yet undeniably words. STILLHEREBELOWDONTLEAVE. It always started at 2:13 a.m. and stopped at 2:30, a 17-minute window. This mechanical regularity was the most unsettling part. The next morning, armed with evidence, I confronted my landlord, a man in his late 70s, placid smile fixed as I spoke. He insisted no basement, only a sealed crawl space from the 1950s. No one could be under there, an empty, inaccessible void. I didn't trust his dismissal. I remembered a single uneven floorboard near my bed, a different color, wider gap. Armed with a pry bar, I knelt. The board was heavy, thick old wood, and it resisted. With a final pull, it lifted. Cold, stagnant air billowed up. It smelled ancient, earth, dust, a faint metallic odor. I aimed a small, powerful flashlight into the gap. A narrow tunnel, no more than 2 feet high, packed earth and stone foundations. It stretched further than my light could reach, into an impenetrable darkness. No person, no shadow, no sign of movement. On impulse, I knocked twice. A reply came. 2 soft, quick taps. Not an echo, a response. Then a measured rhythm, speaking again in wood and silence. I called the police. 2 officers, professional calm mixed with skepticism, peered into the crawl space. They measured, searched the perimeter, found no entry, no broken vents, no hidden doors, no footprints, no scuffs, no signs of anyone for years. Sleep vanished. I needed more than audio. I needed to see. I aimed the phone at the loose board, left it slightly ajar, and hit record. I waited, hearing the building settle, the gurgle of pipes, my own shallow breath. At 2:14 a.m., motion activated. The board creaked, moved, pushed from below. The opening widened like a waking mouth. For a single, horrifying heartbeat. A pale, impossibly thin hand. Fingers like bleached twigs. Startled by dim light, it vanished, and the wood slammed shut like a coffin lid. I called the police again. They cut through the darkness with powerful beams. They confirmed the impossible. Too narrow to maneuver, no side passages, sealed channel. They left with reassurances. I was alone with it now. The next nights were silent. I replayed the footage again and again. It was undeniably real. At 2:12, I stood at the door, ready to flee. 2:13, nothing. A fragile wave of relief. And then, 1 sharp tap from the wall behind my headboard, then 3 quick staccato taps. I pressed my ear against the wall. The message was different now. It spelled a statement. INTHEWALLS. I scrambled away, staring at where my head had been. The solid plaster felt like a fragile membrane, separating me from an unimaginable horror. The apartment closed in, the walls breathing with a life that wasn't mine. I thought the floor was the worst place it could be. I was wrong. I lay in bed, eyes open, waiting.
I never left.